Before I get started with this commentary, let me give a shout out to Jason on Patreon for sending this story to me. And this story came out a couple days ago. Like, I'm actually recording it on January the 3rd, and the article that I'm reading from was posted January 2nd. And it involves this black man. First off, this is not the black man in the picture, by the way, just letting y'all know, whose name was Gregory Evans. And basically this man was having a whole seizure inside of a North Carolina store. And this guy, whose name is Sobhi Hassan, was charged with assaulting this man who was clearly having a medical emergency. Like, they have still images of this guy literally attacking this man, and you'll see it in the thumbnail where he's in a motion of where he looks like he's swinging at him. He looks like he has something in his hand as he's swinging on him. Ignore that sound that's in the background. That's just a notification. And he literally is beating this man while he's clearly having a medical emergency, and he's been charged with assaulting him, and he has been arrested. Looks like our so-called alliances are getting even further and further apart. Keep in mind, I just did a video about two teens who was dressed as Klansmen for Halloween and was attacking their black schoolmate, and one of them happened to be quote-unquote Team Brown. So it looks like we have another individual who was quote-unquote Team Brown, who is non-Hispanic, who decides that they're going to attack Team Black inside of their store. So let me go ahead and read this article. A video has emerged in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, showing a clerk at a local convenience store beating a customer as he suffers a seizure. Now the community is outraged as the victim has been hospitalized days later cannot move his whole body. On December 22nd at the Princess Market convenience store at around 3:30 p.m. on West Raleigh Boulevard, after a 56-year-old black man entered the store. Gregory Evans, according to his family, started having a seizure when the clerk left his post behind the counter to confront him. It was then that the person started to beat Evans with a stick, despite the man experiencing a medical crisis. The violent assault was captured on cell phones by other customers. I'm sorry, but if I was one of those customers in there, if I knew that I couldn't get a swing in because of fear that I might get hit with that stick while he was hitting him, I would have found something that wasn't nailed to that floor, and I would have knocked him on his ass, or went for the knees or the legs. Cause you can't tell me that y'all didn't know that this guy was having a medical emergency while this guy just sat up there and beat this guy for no reason. And I can almost imagine the excuses that he's going to give of why he did it. Oh, because he looked suspicious. He was trying to steal something, and so on and so forth. I mean, we've heard it all before. But like I said, whenever black people are experiencing a crisis, it's never taken seriously. And who knows, this guy probably just wanted to beat on a black person that day, and he got his opportunity. WRAL, a local NBC affiliate, assisted in the investigation of the assault by providing authorities with video copies of the incident they had already acquired. Sobhi Hassan, age 68, was arrested by Rocky Mount Police Department earlier on Tuesday, December 28th, and was charged with simple assault in connection with the incident. The video shows Hassan shouting at Evans, "Get out now," before coming over to beat him 6 times on his leg during his seizure. So this guy knew that this guy was having some kind of a problem, because you can tell when someone is seizing, like their body will shake, or maybe they could start foaming at the mouth. Like, there are signs there, and this guy still continued to beat him. As a result of the altercation, Evans is hospitalized and undergoing tests. The incident has prompted acts of civil unrest calling for justice for Evans. Protesters cleaned up trash as they collect signatures for a petition to get the store shut down, claiming that the store has a history of treating customers in a negative and discriminatory way. Local authorities are continuing to investigate the assault to determine if it can be considered a hate crime. His sister, Edith Cooper, gave an update on his condition at the Ebenezer Baptist Church on Monday, December 27th, during a forum organized by civil rights activist, the Reverend Thomas Walker. The goal was to give voice to the community and to hear the progress of the investigation and the police. She informed the community he's a little slow and he still doesn't have full mobility of his body at this time. She also noted that her brother has said that his back and legs are hurting. Police Chief Robert Hassel asked the community in a forum on the investigation, which lasted for approximately an hour and 20 minutes, to be patient as they gather information. Once that is complete, then we will take the appropriate action to move this case forward, Hassel said. Give the police department and our district attorney's office a chance to do what we are hired to do. He continued, I only ask the community, please remain calm and let the police department conclude this investigation, and we will then take the necessary actions that needs to be taken in lockstep with our district attorney's office to make sure that we have a solid case if there is one to be brought. He shared that they have more information on the assault, including additional videos. Hassel further noted that he was unable to speak with Evans because of his health. During the gathering at Reverend Walker's church, Cooper said that her brother could not strike Hassan back after he was hit because of the seizure. She said that her brother grabbed the counter involuntarily as he experienced the shakes and convulsion of the seizure. And see, so that just basically what it sounds like to me, like I said, it sounds like to me that one of two things happened. One, either this man had a seizure and this prick reacted thinking something was going on. And the thing is, if you were having a seizure, people would know. Instead of seeking medical help, he decides to strike him with the stick. Or something happened to trigger this guy to go after this guy for whatever reason, and then he ended up seizing while in the middle of being beat. And then this guy continued to beat on him even more. Like I said, this guy did some damage to him to the point where he ended up hospitalizing this guy. And he said he's still feeling aches and, pains from it. For an incident that happened right before Christmas, 3 days to be exact. And here we are about over a week later, almost 2 weeks later. Cooper further explained that witnesses took him outside of the store and alerted an ambulance of the trauma. According to the sister, at first paramedics treated him exclusively for the seizure before being made aware that he had been beaten. That's crazy. But like I said, we have no allies. We have no friends. I'm sure you have heard that term, that phrase several times, but it's true. We really are on our own. We have no friends. We are all we got. Like, this guy literally went in on this man, and he had a seizure and still continued to beat him while he was seizing. Now, I don't have a picture of Gregory Evans. I tried to find one, but they only have a picture of this thing that you see on your screen. And pretty much that's all we need. Now, I wonder, like, what else is going to happen to this guy. And they should shut down his store in more ways than one. And wouldn't it be interesting? They shut down his store and then it's reopened under new ownership, and the new ownership are black people. That would be poetic justice right there, if you ask me. But I hope that this person gets everything coming his way. And if there's any lawsuits to be had against this clerk, because they didn't say he was the owner, just says he was the store clerk, which means he doesn't even own it as far as I know. Get everything that they can out of this store and do what you must.